Hey, everybody. This is Minister Nikila Shannon, author of the book 7 Days to Pray the Single Away, and also Daughters of the Most High, Why Smart Girls Do Dumb Things and the God Who Loves Them. I've been coming to you for the last couple of weeks, sharing nuggets from the second book, Why Smart Girls Do Dumb Things, and just talking about different women in the Bible, some of the issues that they had, and what we can learn from them. Just little bits and pieces that I cover in the book. And so I have been talking about Leah and Rachel, but today I want to briefly talk about Lot and his family. I want to talk about Lot's wife in particular. So you have to go back to Genesis 19 and pick up what I'm talking about. Basically, Lot had his family living in a place called Sodom and Gomorrah. It was a sexually immoral, filthy place, and God wanted to destroy it. But the angels had been sent to bring Lot and his family out. And so for some reason, in the whole process of it all, Lot and his family are having to be almost drug out of the city. And so eventually they say, okay, they're going to go. And the angels say, don't look back. Don't stop running. Just keep heading for the mountains or you'll be swept away. And so they're given this rule and they're given this commandment not to look back. And so as they're going and they're running out of the city, Lot's wife looks back, and Genesis 19:26 says, but Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt. So for a brief second, I want to talk about the danger of looking back. And so I don't know why his wife looked back. In the book, I talk about maybe she had a spirit of nosy. I want to see how God's about to destroy this spot. Or every night she probably heard, and all day long, she probably heard the pleasures and the sounds of ecstasy in Sodom and Gomorrah. And as much as us good girls like to say that, oh, I'm not like that. Oh, that's gross. Somewhere in us, in our human nature, we enjoy the feel and the desires, and we enjoy the pleasure that comes from sexual interactions. Not every woman who's still with the man that's no good, don't have a job, don't like her kids, disrespects her mama, and don't love her is with him because she really loves him. Sometimes she's with him, one, because she's desperate, or two, because of what he brings to the table. And I mean the table in the bedroom. He does something for her that she's never had before. And therefore, she will put up with his bad behavior a whole lot longer. And don't look at me like you ain't never done it. He's 6'5", 250, all muscle. He beautiful, dark skin, light skin, bald head, wet hair, whatever you like. And you know he's no good, but he's real good. So I venture to say, I always think out the box a little bit. I venture to say maybe one of the reasons it was so hard for her to come out of there was because of she got to indulge a little bit in her pleasures. She got to indulge a little bit in her desires. For whatever reason, she looked back and it left her salty, pun intended. And that's what looking back does to us. For whatever reason, we decide to look back, whether it's because we nosy, I just want to see what's about to happen, or because it's something that's always catered to our pleasure, catered to that side of us that secretly we didn't want anybody to know about. That side of us that was those guilty indulgence. That could cause us to look back. I will admit here today that I am addicted to looking back for several different reasons. I've given exes a chance. I've gone back to jobs I said I didn't want to go back to. I've gone back to habits and behaviors I said I didn't want to go back to. I've gone back and found weight that I didn't want to ever pick up again, right? Sometimes we have a addiction to looking back. And I just want to talk about how that can be, that can leave us salty. So in the book, and I share a little bit of my business, a couple of years ago, dating somebody, and it was very loosely called dating, very loosely. I was one of a couple, and I knew. And so that's a story for a whole nother other. But God started using the reference of Sodom and Gomorrah to reference our relationship and to reference this person. And so one day I'm sitting in church and there's a guest preacher and he comes by and he says, God is trying to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah and he can't because you're there. Did he just point at me? Did he just say my name? After God's already been telling me that as a reference, Sodom and Gomorrah. And he comes to me and he says, you know, he's trying to destroy it, but he can't because you're there. God cannot destroy it because you are there. One, wow, God, thank you for loving me so much that you give me a warning. But two, how amazing is it to think that some things can't be destroyed. Some things can't be changed or altered. Some things can't be destroyed because you're there. What is God trying to destroy in your life, but he can't because you still sitting there? I want y'all to think about that. So, you know, time goes on. I'm like, I'm up out of here. You ain't got to tell me twice. And then part of me has the spirit of nosy. So I want to keep looking back. And I realized I couldn't do that. God said, don't worry about how I'm going to do it. Know that I'm going to do it. But I need you to keep looking forward. I need you to keep going forward. And so I had, because I was one of a few and I knew the other few, the ones who did look back. One who did look back, I know in particular, was left feeling pretty salty because God was trying to destroy that place. God was trying to tear that place down, but she looked back. Well, we just can't do that. What is it that we're looking back on? What is it that we're trying to go back to? What is it that we keep trying to pull back? You know, it keeps pulling us to turn around. It keeps pulling us to kind of come back that way. But God is like, it's not for you to look back. It's not for you to be nosy about it. It's not for you to keep on calling. It's not for you to keep checking their Facebook. It's not for you to keep looking at their Instagram. It's not for you to keep looking at their pictures. It's not for you to keep calling every now and then. It's not for y'all to stay friends. It's not for any of that. It is for you to turn around and head for the hills. Run, Forrest, run, and stop trying to look back. Stop trying to go back. Stop trying to see what's going to happen. Fast forward the story. He came up to me one day in church and he was like, hey, you know, he was smelling good. I was smelling good. I was wearing a perfume that he actually had picked out. So I'm smelling good and he's smelling good and he's all in my ear. And he like, you should really think about unblocking me from Facebook. I thought about it. I sure did. But then guess what? Because I wanted to be nosy still. I still wanted to be nosy. You know, I was being disobedient. I wanted to be nosy. But just play on the outskirts. That was my idea. Let me play on the outskirts of Sodom and Gomorrah. A preacher's preaching again. Guest preacher. He don't know me from Adam. Stops in the middle of his sermon and says, I usually don't use my gift for this. But to the woman who's thinking about bringing him back into her life, God said, don't do it. I said, I'm looking around like, did y'all just hear what he said? He was talking to me. Guess who did not get unblocked on Facebook or any other social media? God said, don't do it. We can't even play on the outskirts of where God is trying to bring us from. What is it that you are still looking back at? Is it bad habits? Is it bad eating habits? Is it sexual relationships, situationships, friends with benefits, exes that you've been to let go of? What is it that God is telling you, dragging you from, and you keep looking back and wondering why you still feeling salty? That's all I'm going to say. I don't feel salty no more. I did start looking back at some other stuff, and then I started feeling salty. I was like, whoa. Hold on. I'm feeling kind of salty. Why? Because I keep looking back at certain things, bad eating behaviors. You know, I love carbs. Who don't, you know? But my stomach don't love carbs because it keeps going in the wrong direction. Instead of in, it's going out. So I need to probably sever my relationship and stop trying to teeter on the outskirts of my bad eating habits. Exes, relationships, jobs, whatever the case may be. My point to you today is this. Mrs. Lot looked back and it left her feeling real salty. Her bad decision was the end of her life. There are bad decisions that we can make that we can never recover from. What is God trying to pull you from to bring you into something new, but you just too busy looking back? It's not for you to be nosy. God will handle it. Just know that it will be done. He's trying to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. This is my message to you. God is trying to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and he can't because you're still there. But Sodom and Gomorrah will be destroyed. If you choose to look back, so will you. I love you guys, but I gotta go. I enjoy our weekly talks. Hit me up on Facebook, author Nikila Shannon. Check out my YouTube page. Subscribe. I got like 11 people there. Hello, subscribe. And we can hang out together all the time. You have to find me on Facebook all the time, and I'll be putting out a different video each week. Go back and check out the previous weeks. Again, I'm author of the book, Daughters of the Most High, Why Smart Girls Do Dumb Things, and the God Who Loves Them, because he does love you. And also the book 7 Days to Pray the Single Away, which I will be running a Valentine's Day special on. So just to date this video, I'll be running the Valentine's Day special on that book you don't want to miss. I love you, ladies. Be blessed. Until next week. Try to think of some smart things to do, because you're a very smart girl. All right. Be blessed.